Oh no. Do you hear that? Do you hear that silence? That mechanical hum of the refrigeration units? Yes, my friends, River Fields Mortuary is calling us back. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Red Frame. Today, we aren't just reacting to a trailer. Today, we are facing our traumas. The official movie trailer for the undisputed king of indie horror games, the Mortuary Assistant, has finally dropped. And I have to be honest with you, my palms are already sweating. For those of us who played the game, or for those who were too scared and just watched streamers play it through their fingers, we know the deal. This game isn't about cheap jump scares. It's about the crushing anxiety of bureaucracy. It's about a demon telling you to fill out this form and wire that jaw shut while hell breaks loose around you. Now Hollywood, specifically Epic Pictures and Dread XP, is trying to adapt this nightmare for the big screen. Usually, this is the part where I start ranting. I would typically bring up the Slender Man disaster or the soulless adaptations of the past. But guys, I went through this trailer frame by frame and something weird is happening. This actually looks good? Dare I say, terrifyingly faithful? Today, we are dissecting the trailer. We are clearing up the massive confusion about the lead actress. No, it's not who you think it is. We're digging into the director's hidden gems. And we're discussing why this movie might just be the surprise hit of 2026. Put on your gloves. The embalming process starts now. First things first, the atmosphere. The moment you hit play on the trailer, the sound design hits you. The director has almost perfectly replicated the isolating, claustrophobic vibe of the game. Did you notice the hallway scenes? That wet, gritty, unsettling texture gives me major 2013 Evil Dead remake vibes. You know how that movie didn't feel like a clean, polished Hollywood set? It felt rusty. It felt like it smelled of blood and mildew. This movie has that same energy. It's not a sterile hospital. It's a mortuary that smells of formaldehyde and death. And that is exactly what we want. And let's talk about the gremlin guy, or as we know him, the mimic. Look at that figure standing in the dark corner. If you look closely, you can tell that's not CGI. That is a real person in makeup, standing there menacingly. That is the power of practical effects. I will always take a guy in a rubber suit standing in the dark over a CGI monster that costs millions of dollars but looks like a cartoon. Sure, let's be honest, the fire effects in the trailer looked a bit low budget. But that doesn't bother me. In fact, it shows that the film is keeping its indie soul. We don't need a polished Marvel movie, we need raw, intimate horror. Now let's address the biggest talking point that has exploded on the internet since the trailer dropped, the lead actress. When you first saw the trailer, I bet a lot of you said, wait, is that Elizabeth Olsen? You are not alone. With those big, expressive, traumatized eyes and that facial structure, she really does look like the third Olsen sister we never knew about. But no, guys. That is not Wanda Maximoff. That is Willa Holland. And in my opinion, she is one of the most perfect choices for this role. Why? Because Willa's career has been built on playing damaged characters. Most of us know her as Thea Queen, aka Speedy, from the CW's Arrow. She spent years fighting alongside Oliver Queen, battling addiction, dealing with trauma, and surviving. She is already trained to play the exhausted but stubborn archetype that Rebecca Owens requires. But wait, let me drop some geek knowledge for you. For the gamers in the audience, Willa's voice might sound incredibly familiar. That's because she is the voice of Aqua in the legendary Kingdom Hearts series. Yes, the self-sacrificing Keyblade master, lost in the darkness. That is her. So, we aren't just getting a pretty face to scream at the camera. We are getting an actor with an action background and a voice-acting legacy deep in geek culture. In the trailer, when she screams, "I want this to stop," into the phone, did you see the desperation in her eyes? That was the moment I said, okay, Rebecca is in good hands. But who is steering the ship? The trailer proudly says, from director Jeremiah Kipp. And I can hear many of you asking, who? Let me educate you. Jeremiah Kipp is a child of indie horror, not mainstream Hollywood. Does anyone remember a 2021 movie called Slapface? That film holds a 91% on Rotten Tomatoes. It was a masterclass in how to shoot a horror movie on a low budget, relying entirely on atmosphere and psychological tension rather than expensive set pieces. Choosing Kipp for this project is fantastic news. Because the Mortuary Assistant isn't a massive action blockbuster, it's a single-location, claustrophobic thriller. We needed a director who knows how to create magic out of nothing, someone who can make a shadow in the corner terrifying. Also, the fact that it's lower budget, yes, even with that questionable fire CGI, means less studio interference. Big studios usually ruin these movies by trying to make them safe for general audiences. But here, it looks like the director has the freedom to keep it dark, weird, and faithful to his vision. My biggest fear, and I'm sure yours too, was this. Would they strip away the simulation aspect of the game and just turn it into a generic monster chase movie? Because the terror of the game comes from the job. You have to wire that damn jaw shut while a demon breathes down your neck. When I saw Rebecca holding that iconic clipboard in the trailer, I let out a sigh of relief. We see her entering data into the 90s-style computer, finding a vein, researching demon names. It looks like the movie has preserved the detective and procedural elements. Rebecca isn't just running, she is solving a puzzle. She has to find the sigils, identify the correct demon name, and do her job perfectly. We also see a reference to a character named Grandma and Rebecca looking at old photos. This suggests the movie is expanding the lore. We aren't just going to see the events of that one night. We are going to learn the cursed history of River Fields and how it connects to Rebecca's own traumatic past. So, the critical question, when and where can we watch this nightmare? The trailer gives us the date, February 13th, 2026. Literally the day before Valentine's Day. Nothing says romance like embalming fluids, right? It's the perfect date night movie for the twisted among us. However, the release strategy is interesting. This isn't a massive wide release. It looks like a limited theatrical run likely in major chains like AMC or Regal in select cities. So, you might not find it in every single mall. But don't panic. The movie is produced by DreadXP and Epic Pictures. Do you know where their movies live? Shudder. Based on how the industry works, after a short run in theaters, this movie will almost certainly drop on Shudder, likely in March or April. And honestly, Shudder is the perfect home for it. The Shudder audience appreciates this kind of gritty, atmospheric indie horror better than anyone. If you can catch it in theaters, do it. That sound design deserves a big system. But if not, get your subscriptions ready. To wrap this up, my friends, the Mortuary Assistant movie looks shockingly competent. It looks faithful. And it looks scary. We have Willa Holland, aka Aqua, aka Speedy, who has the range to sell the trauma. We have a director who is a master of atmosphere. And we have a production that seems to respect the source material, warts and all. Sure, the fire CGI is a little goofy, but if they can make me feel the cold of that mortuary, I'm in. But what do you think? Is Willa Holland the right choice for Rebecca? Or did you also mistake her for Elizabeth Olsen at first glance? And most importantly, are you brave enough to watch this alone in a theater? Let me know your theories in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, smash that like button and subscribe to join the Red Frame family. Until the next video, watch your back and don't forget to fill out your forms. Stay safe.